Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And before we get into anything in today's video, be sure you like the video. And I know some people have actually reached out to me on Twitter and said, I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed to the channel. Just make sure you're subscribed if you want to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech football and men's basketball, as that season is quickly approaching, right here on a 100% free Texas Tech platform. We do live game streams, game previews, 3 keys to the game, and much, much more. So join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube today just by simply liking the video and hitting that subscribe button. I forgot to mention we're interactive as well, and it's a 3 keys to the game video, right? So I want to hear from you guys. What is the biggest key for Texas Tech to win at Arizona? I'll give you mine here in just a second, but let me know yours down on the pinned comment below. All right, let's start with key number 1. And I think we've learned a few things about a third of the way through the season now for the Red Raiders in terms of, well, what do they do well? And this game right here will actually mark the midway point for Texas Tech, but we kind of got a really good idea of what the offense does well and what the defense does well. On the offensive side of the football, my biggest key for them, and, well, second biggest key, because we'll talk about them a little bit more here in just a second, is play action and RPOs. And I know that that is a broad, encompassing statement. I understand, and it's going to be very nitpicky in terms of your point of view on Zach Kittley on that front. But if you look at Texas Tech and when they have succeeded this year, and let's just talk about Big 12 competition, because I know there's going to be some people in the comments that says, oh, well, it was just North Texas. Oh, well, it was just Abilene Christian. Well, that's fine. Let's look at Arizona State and the Cincinnati game. What did Texas Tech do really, really well offensively? Play action and RPO. And why can you do that? Because you have arguably the best running back outside of the state of Idaho in Janty in all of college football in Tahj Brooks. And you can see the comfort level that Tahj allows Behren Morton to have. And it's not a complacent comfort. No, it allows Behren Morton to have bigger windows to throw to the Texas Tech wide receivers, whether that's Josh Kelly, the main target in this offense, Caleb Payday Douglas, Coy Aiken, Jalen Conyers, whoever it may be, right? But it allows you to use Tahj in a way that benefits in a trickle-down effect to the rest of the offense completely. And what do I mean by that? We know the star power that Tahj Brooks possesses when it comes to opposing defenses really having to game plan against him, right? Like, he is the focal point. There's no doubt about that. Why not use him in a multitude of ways to allow yourself to, well, better the position of other playmakers on this team? What do I mean by that? Obviously, in play action, RPOs type setting, Tahj is very much involved. But it also allows Tahj not only to impact things on the ground via the RPO type setting, but in the play action where he's actually a really good blocker. Okay, that's one of his skill sets that NFL scouts really, really like about him, and probably one of the reasons why he's going to be a day 2 pick in the NFL draft. At least in my opinion, that's where he should be. He is a good pass blocker, and that just adds extra protection for Behren Morton, and then he can slip out and be that, well, security blanket for Behren Morton if nothing develops downfield. He thrives in this situation, does Behren Morton, and he does so because of Tahj Brooks. And in my opinion, this is really where Texas Tech has to capitalize on the big plays, because you've seen where Texas Tech has gotten those big plays this year. Most of them have come off of play action, okay, or an RPO. That's really where it's happened. Go back and look at the film. Obviously, there's a couple of plays here and there that are traditional dropbacks for Behren Morton where he has a big play. But most of the time, it's in an RPO and play action type setting. You are going to need to have those bigger windows for Behren Morton to throw through, because this Arizona secondary has some length. Tamariko Davis he's a stud. I mean, Carrico is a legitimate day 2 NFL draft pick, okay? He's 6'4". He is a stud, one of the best corners, not only in the Big 12, but in the country, and Texas Tech is going to have their hands full. Why not put Behren Morton in the best position to succeed and open those windows as much as possible and give a little bit of a hesitation to that secondary to look in the backfield and see if it's a run play, which will open up the pass game a little bit more. All right, let's transition over to defense, and it's pretty simple for me on this one. Contain, contain. And it's not just Noah Fafita, okay, the quarterback that you're going to know his name on Saturday night. I promise you that. Dude is an absolute baller. And it's probably the same height as me, which is not great for me, but he has way better arm strength. Anyway, I digress. I think this is where Texas Tech is going to struggle the most, right? We know defensively that you could be without two of your key players in the secondary, in Chapman Lewis and Braylon Lux. Now, Joey McGuire did say that he thinks Braylon Lux is on track to potentially play or headed in that right direction to play on Saturday night out in Arizona. But if you can make Noah Fafita stay in the pocket, first and foremost on the Arizona offense, I think you have one right there. That is a W in terms of making that happen because it increases your chances to win. Now, Noah Fafita is a good passer, okay? He can beat you from the pocket, but I think where he thrives is getting outside, prolonging plays, and really rolling out and finding a guy like McMillan, who they have that connection all the way back to high school, right? Speaking of McMillan, he will be the top priority, and hopefully you do have Braylon Lux. We talked about McMillan in the preview video extensively, how he could be the first wide receiver taken in the NFL draft next year, depending on where Luther Burden goes from Missouri and obviously Travis Hunter, what side of the football he's drafted to in terms of wide receiver or corner. But McMillan has that kind of talent. He is a first-round wide receiver. If I'm Texas Tech, I want to make life difficult for the Arizona passing game, which is really their bread and butter because that's, well, where their best player is in McMillan. If I'm Texas Tech, I might just drop 8 and see if Arizona can beat me on the ground. And I want to say this. I think Arizona could do that. Conley's a good back, right? He could do that. But I'm saying I want to take my chances more in terms of the run game and trying to keep everything in front of me if you're Texas Tech. Now they're going to have to tackle and actually push out of bounds if you know on those damn screenplays. But I wonder if that's the approach for Tim DeRuyter. And the easiest way to do that is contain, play zone. Obviously, you can play some man and play contain too, but you're going to have to double McMillan and really prioritize keeping Noah Fafita within the pocket and seeing if he can throw over his lineman in front of him and just see if Texas Tech can, well, create a turnover or two. And speaking of turnover or two, that's key number 3. But before we get there, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and again, let me know your biggest key for Texas Tech at Arizona. I know there will be somebody in the comments saying they just have to score more points. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Let's be real about this. Let's get in depth a little bit more. Let me know yours down on the pinned comment below. All right. Here's the stat I got for you guys. 4-0. That's Texas Tech's record this season when they win the turnover battle. Obviously, they lost the one at Washington State. I don't think that that's crazy, but let's go a little bit deeper into this. It's critical for Texas Tech to win the turnover battle on the road in the Big 12 because the Red Raiders are just 3-6 in the first 2 years of Joey McGuire in Big 12 road games. In those 6 Big 12 road losses, the Red Raiders have lost the turnover battle 5 times. 5. That's really the difference if you're going to win this football game, in my opinion, because if Texas Tech doesn't turn the ball over and they ensure that, hey, we don't shorten the field for the Arizona offense, I do think Texas Tech can be in this game until the end, but that's a huge, sizable if at this point because Texas Tech has proven that they struggle on the road, and until proven otherwise, hey, like, I'll believe it when I see it type stuff, right? But the first course of action to get and correct that mindset for some fans, including myself, is winning the turnover battle. Because things are a lot more difficult on the road when you lose that turnover battle. And the proof is in the numbers that I just gave you. Again, 3-6 in Big 12 road games under Joey McGuire. This is the first one in 2024. And in those 6 Big 12 road losses in the first 2 years of the Joey McGuire era, you have lost the turnover battle 5 times. That's the difference in this football game, in my opinion. Like, you can lose a little bit in the trenches, but if you create a turnover or two against Arizona and kind of take the crowd out of it, and then you go capitalize with some points off of those turnovers, you're just stealing a possession or two. And I know that this is very elementary, but I think a lot of the things that Texas Tech struggles with on the road are elementary. I really, truly believe that. They struggle because they're not in that friendly confine of the Jones out in Lubbock, right? They struggle with elementary type football sometimes on the road. And now, granted, Maybe that can change here, but I'll believe it when I see it. But the first wave of that, in my opinion, in terms of getting to where we actually think Texas Tech can win road games consistently, right, is winning the turnover battle, period. Do not give extra possessions to Arizona and try and create 1 or 2 more for your offense. Defense, please don't be crazy, though. Actually tackle. Tackle. You can peanut Tillman in there in terms of trying to punch the ball out, but please tackle. All right, that's going to do it for today's 3 keys to the game video. Again, one more time, let me know your biggest key to Texas Tech winning out in Arizona. It would be an upset, by the way. The Arizona Wildcats right now are 6-point favorites at the time of this recording on Thursday, October 3rd. So this would be a pretty big upset for the Red Raiders in terms of a touchdown underdog. But let me know your biggest key down on the pinned comment below. And one more time, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube. Oh, yeah, and it's the most interactive, and it's 100% free. Like I said, all you got to do to join the Back to 12 squad is like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.